So Josh, you've been at this a long time now, man. How many years?
I've been guiding for almost 10 years now, yeah. And fishing for steelhead for about 13.
Yeah. You know, earlier on the way up, we were talking about the changes that have gone on. And I think it was 1996 or so that Mad River Outfitters announced our Steelhead Pro staff of guides. You may remember that. But it was myself, Jerry Darkus, Michael Bennett, and Larry Rummel were on that pro staff of guides. And yeah, things have changed, but as I come up here, and it's been a little while since I've been here, I don't get up here as much as I used to, but today really kind of whet my appetite again. But you know, it's still the same. I'm using the same stinking rod I did. I'm using the same flies that I did back then. I'm using the same split shot. Yeah, okay, I've got the new airlock indicators compared to the ice fishing floats we used to fish. Other than that, it's really, you know, steelheading is steelheading. It really hasn't changed all that much. I know you've seen changes in the streams and the management and the amount of people that are here, but I mean, what do you see that's different in the past 20, 25 years?
Well, I would say just that. There's just more people in the fishery. So sometimes you have to put in a little bit more legwork to get to an open spot. You know, versus it seemed like even 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you know, or well, you could just, you know, jump into maybe a road hole. We walked up maybe about a quarter of a mile and still did pretty well. So yeah. Just more people, but that's, you know, that's a good thing. I mean, we're promoting the fishery. That's what they're here for. That's why the ODNR and Pennsylvania DNR is stocking the fish, so we can have them here hopefully for years to enjoy.
Oh, absolutely, and it's just an amazing fishery. For our viewers out there, you start guiding when? Late September, early October?
Yeah, usually around the 1st of October we'll start booking trips, especially now with this coming season. We're going to have our first ever boat trips, harbor trips, where we'll be stripping steelhead with streamers out in the harbors.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
And as we get our first few rains, I mean, those fish move into the lower mile or so as the tributaries, as you know, and with each rain after that, we'll follow them up the tributaries. But I would say around the 1st of October is a good date, and we'll fish until we freeze. Usually that seems like we can get through Christmas or so, New Year's.
Yeah, typically.
And then as soon as the water's open again, if it does freeze at all, we're right back at it up through the beginning of May.
Yeah. A lot of folks, even around this time, the first part of April, we're getting people calling us saying, hey, is there still time? And I say, you know, we've always said that the spring season is going to peak last 2 weeks of March, first 2 weeks of April. That's about your month season. But we'll still, I mean, I remember getting strong pushes of manistee, the big manistee fish around the 20th, 25th of April.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of times when everybody else is saying it's over, stick a fork in it. That's when the fishing's getting really good. The weather's a little bit more comfortable. You don't have to put up with the snow and the runoff and stuff like we have here today. But yeah, you can easily steelhead fish through the month of April and get consistent action.
Well, and Brian, I love the last 2 weeks of April and even the first week of May or so, because there's still plenty of steelhead around to be caught. And then at that time, we start catching big lake run smallmouth bass. And that's a great combo trip. I've got several bookings this year already for guys requesting combo trips where we can catch steelhead and smallmouth on the same river in the same spots.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And that was always one of my favorite times of year, when you started catching both big smallmouth and drop back steelhead out of the same piece of water. And that's a great point. And in fact, Margaret and I, we should come up here and do a smallmouth trip with Josh and let everybody see that. Oh, I'm sorry, Marguerite. I keep calling her Margaret. I'm sorry, Margaret. So, you know, on a day like today, I can't stress enough how important a guide is in all aspects. Even someone like myself, who I know how to fish and I have experience, but my guide is always my most important piece of gear, whether I'm in the saltwater, freshwater, in Labrador last summer, no matter where I go, Soaring Eagle Lodge. My guides are my most important piece of gear. And if it weren't for you today, Marguerite and I would have driven up here, and we would have probably just got a room at the Motel 6, right? So it was thanks to you, and you do that a lot. You get people, when other guides are canceling and everybody says, oh, you can't fish, well, you're sending us pictures of big fish for social media, and people are often amazed and don't believe that you're fishing the Erie tributaries when you do.
Yeah, I mean, we had hoped today to be on a bigger piece of water, but we had a great day bouncing around on some upper level tributaries that are farther up the ridge lines and stuff, places like this that just yesterday I was here doing some scouting with Ryan Ratliff, and this thing was raging and muddy. And here we are today. It's a beautiful kind of green, olive green water, and fishing well. So there's always a lot of spots to learn and go to, and new places to check where you might be able to fish when maybe everybody else thinks you can.
Yeah. Well, very important. And for those of you that might be thinking about it, yes, we run a guide service here on the Erie tributaries. Josh is our primary guide. Ryan Ratliff does a little bit. We've got Jeff Flechsig who helps us out. Occasionally you can get Jerry Darkus, and who knows, I might throw my hat back in the ring and start guiding up here again. This is just so much fun and such an amazing, amazing part of the state. I mean, the stuff that you're going to see in this video is, a lot of people don't believe it's Ohio. We talked about that, but just a beautiful, beautiful scenery, beautiful place, and this place is just rocking with steelhead. So be sure to check it out at madriveroutfitters.com if you want to come and give the Steelhead Alley, the Lake Erie tributaries, a try for steelhead. Anytime from October 1st through the end of April, we're happy to have you, and we can put you on steelheads. Well, thanks for watching today, friends. We appreciate it as always. Stay tuned, we've got a lot more coming at you, and make sure you subscribe. It really helps us out. Stay tuned. If you like this video, hit subscribe. It helps out a lot. And check out these videos. We think you might like them too.